Well, good morning. This is Paul Faucette from A New Beginning / Grace Ministries, associate pastor at Grace Ministries and the leader of A New Beginning. And I have not posted anything in a while. I've been having some personal problems that we've had to deal with, and hopefully they're back under control. So I want to get back on here and let you know that A New Beginning is still very much alive. A New Beginning, as you know, is a program housed out of Grace Ministries where we help individuals that want to go to rehab for some form of addiction and they don't know how to go about it, or don't have the funding, or just doesn't know what to do. Well, that's what we're here for. We're here to help them. We are here to, in some cases, fund them to go to a location. Sometimes we can find a facility that is free and we may only have to furnish the transportation. But we are here to help your loved ones. If you have a loved one that is suffering from addiction, and I want you to know that addiction is a disease. Don't let anyone ever tell you that it's not. That addiction controls your loved one's brain to where they are not functioning as the person that you know. And it's so detrimental to you as the family member because there's not really anything that you can do. All you can do is give it to God, pray for them, and to be quite honest, you are forced at times to make decisions that you ordinarily would not make. But you are forced to make those decisions for a number of reasons. And you know those reasons, and you know what I'm talking about. A New Beginning has, I don't want to brag, but I feel like I have to share with you that at the present time, we have worked with at least 4 individuals since our beginning, that the people are now clean for 1 year or more. I am so excited about that. We are so excited about that. And this has been made possible by gifts from you, the public. You know, A New Beginning, my first intent was, when we started this program, was to send 39 people a month. That was only 3 people a month. Well, to some degree, you have to let the numbers go. What you have to focus on is the quality of what you can do to try to help someone get a quality of life back. I have learned of some new facilities recently. There is a program that's going to occur in downtown Henderson. I believe it is June the 15th. That date stands to be corrected. It's something that A New Beginning and Patricia Drews is working on together. There will be speakers that day. There will be facilities sharing information about their programs of how they can help your loved one that is in addiction. It's almost like a forum. I want you to know that it's very important, whether you have a family member in addiction or not, to learn about what drug addiction is, what substance abuse is, because I can promise you that if you haven't, you will encounter this at some point in your life. I pray that it's not with your family, but in almost every case, someone has someone in their family that has already suffered or is suffering from this dreaded disease. We cannot cure it. We cannot stop it. But we can help anyone that is willing to receive the help. You see, a new beginning is useless if the person that is being worked with does not want the help. But you know, until that person goes to a facility, we don't know if they are really sincere about help or not. We have two people that we have sent to locations in the last 2 months. And the last time I checked, they are still doing fine. That is a blessing from God. I was contacted by each one of the individuals asking for help. So my prayer is that they get the help that they need and they become the person that their family once knew. You yourself may be suffering with addiction. And if you are, we're here for you. You may say, well, I've been to rehab 10, 15 times. Didn't do me any good. Well, you never know what that 16th time will do. You never know what that 20th time will do. I may be limited as to the locations that we can send you to, but all of our facilities are faith-based, and we feel that a person has a better chance of recovery by getting to know Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior and turning their problem over to Him and letting Him lead, guide, and direct them through their recovery. It's not a pretty sight. It's not a pretty sight to watch your loved one go through addiction. But I want you to know that my wife and I have been a part of Grace Ministries for over a year now, and we have seen a number of people that are success stories. They were so strung out on drugs that people had given up hope for them. And they got to a point in their life that they reached the bottom, and they've turned their life around. And they are different people. How do I know they're different people? I know they're different people because they are sincere about caring for others and about wanting to see people that may be currently in addiction to overcome that problem. You know, that takes a work of God. People ask me, well, why do you work with this? Because it's so mentally and physically draining. Well, you know what? It is. And I've had to learn to deal with some of those issues. But you know, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Because it's not me that is helping the individual. It's Jesus Christ working through me to help the individual have an opportunity to become the person that they truly are. Like I said earlier, if you've never been through addiction, you have no idea. And like I say, I pray that you haven't, but the likelihood is that you have. And everybody has different feelings about addiction. If someone feels like that addiction is something that they don't want to hear or deal with, that's fine. But there are a number of people that do. For those that don't, there's no hard feelings. Some people can't deal with it. It is difficult. See, people in addiction, one of their characteristics is lying to you, looking in your face and telling you a bold-faced lie. And you try to decipher what is the truth and what is the non-truth. The more you work in the field, the more you become accustomed to it. You become accustomed to something that I've told people recently, that when you're working with addiction, the expected is the unexpected. And what I mean by that is everybody is different. There are some things about addiction that are constant with pretty much everybody. But then God made each one of us as individuals, so we respond differently to different situations. And it's no different with addiction. You know, as my wife and I became familiar with Grace Ministries and really got involved with Grace Ministries, we saw what people were going through. You see, I'm not ashamed to tell you that we have some people at Grace Ministries right now that may be on that cusp. We have a Tuesday night addiction meeting. And we're not giving up on them. If they're willing to come to a meeting, we are willing to listen. Families, if you feel like that you need support, on Tuesday nights, we have a family support meeting right after the recovery meeting. We break up into groups, and you can hear what other people that have family members in addiction, what they have experienced and what they're going through. And you learn quickly that you're not alone and that other people do care. They care for you and they care for your loved one. Like I said earlier, sometimes you as a family member are forced to make decisions that you would not make if it was not for the addiction. But you have to make that decision to carry on with life. Try not to let that decision ruin your life. I'm actually talking about that you may have to separate yourself from your own child to prevent from enabling them to continue in their addictive ways. You know, if we all come together, a number of people, a number of churches have participated in a new beginning. They have contributed funds. They have opened their doors to listen to what little bit that I know about addiction and how it affects people. And they have given willingly to try to help someone in our community. I'm not on here today to ask for money. I'm going to ask for money if you're willing to give or you have it to give. If you don't, that's fine. We have a post office box Post Office Box 316 in Henderson, North Carolina. And if you just mark your check, A New Beginning, the money will get applied there. The money will be used to help someone that is seeking help. I take nothing for pay. Nobody else takes anything for pay. We do have some startup expenses that we're still working on to get material to be able to spread the word about A New Beginning. But that's all that we are spending outside of helping your loved one. Let's all come together. You don't have to be a member of Grace Ministries to know about this. There's probably not a church in this county that doesn't have someone that's suffering from addiction within the church body. You may not know how to respond to them. Well, you can be the one. If you think the person has a problem, you don't have to approach them as being an addict. You can just put your arm around them and say, you know, you look like you got a problem. Is there anything I can do to help you? Can I pray with you? You never know when you do that someone just may reach out for help. You may have to do that multiple times. Or you may see a family member that has a person in addiction and they're looking so sad. And I know they look sad because it is so gut-wrenching to watch your loved one destroy themselves. Destroy themselves when they don't realize what they are doing to themselves. Now, I'm not trying to take up for them and say that that they didn't have a part in it. They do choose to put that drug in their mouth. But I want you to understand that there's the brain stimulants that are telling the body it needs that drug to survive. Let's all work together. Let's all come together. Don't be ashamed to face drug addiction. Don't be ashamed to reach out for help. And don't be ashamed, if you are a family member and need family support, to come out to our group. Our meeting starts at 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights, and then we break up into groups approximately around 7:30. Come out and be with us. See that you're not alone. See that there are people that have loved ones that have succeeded in overcoming their addiction. Just please know you're not alone. There's always God that can give you the comforting peace, but there's also individuals that you can talk to that have some of the same feelings that you do. And maybe between the two of you, you can figure out a solution. We have to attack this as a community, because it's a community problem. It's a state problem. It's a country problem. But I truly believe that if we can save just one life, that one life may be your loved one. It may be my loved one. It may be a member in my family's loved one. So let's do what we can together. Let's try to make this place a better world. And for family members and friends, don't give up. You take the steps that you have to, number one, to protect yourself, and number two, to carry on with your life. But don't ever give up. A new beginning will never give up on your loved one. No matter how many times they've been for help, we are here to try to help them again if they feel like they won't help. If you have someone that is in the penal system and they have pending charges against them, there are times that we can work with them and work with the attorneys, and the attorneys can work with the legal system to possibly arrange for a release on a condition that they go for help. Let's put our heads together. Let's let our light shine as Christians so bright that our loved ones know that we may have made decisions that they don't like, but yet we still care for them very much. If you have any questions or you have a loved one that needs help, you can reach me by calling 252-204-0653. And I may not be able to get to you immediately, but I will return the call as soon as possible. And I promise you that we will work together through Jesus to try to get your loved one back as you once knew them. I want you to have a good day and know that today is Tuesday, and if you're within driving distance of our facility, to please come out tonight. We're at 215 Crozier Street in Henderson. We would love to have you. And if you just need someone to talk to, I have supplied my number, and I'll give it one more time, 252-204-0653. If we come together as Christians and shine our light, you never know, through God, what can be accomplished. Have a good day.